Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited because my notebook is out, which means I am filming a TBR video. Also, again, I'm so sorry if this is one of those videos where my lighting keeps going in and out because the clouds are clouding today. They are being very annoying. They are messing up the process. These are all of the books that I have planned, to read in May. I'm excited. I have a couple exciting arcs in here. Of course, I have Kindle books and audiobooks. Even though I have some of those books physically, I'll only be reading one of them, physically. My reading month for April was so good, right? And I definitely want to keep that momentum going for May, but also in April, I read a lot of books that were like very emotional, and I just want all of the smut and the darkness, and then also some of the fluffiness and the small town, and just things that hopefully basically won't make me have mental breakdowns in May is what I'm hoping for. I mean, I do know that there are books on here that definitely have heavier topics and such, but as long as I don't cry, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. All right, so let's just get right on into the TBR for May. I have 3 books physically, but only one of them I will be reading physically because the other 2 I do have as audiobooks. The book that I will be reading physically this month, and trust and believe, I promise I'm gonna read this physically and not wait till the day it comes out and listen to it on audio. We have Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. This arc was sent to me by Tessa herself. I love her with my whole heart. She's one of my favorite authors, one of my favorite humans, and this book comes out literally first week of June, I believe. The first book in this little duet is called Secretly Yours. That book I also got a physical arc of, but I ended up just listening to the audiobook on the day that it came out because I tried. I thought that book was really cute and fun, right? But this book I am so excited for because this is a marriage of convenience, as maybe you can guess from the cover. So this follows the girl who is the sister of the main guy who we see in book 1. So again, marriage of convenience. She's really rich. He's more of like, I guess, a blue collar working man, I think. And I just feel like this is going to be really, really fun. Also, the aesthetics of this series is really cute because it's called like the Off the Vine series, and like in the first one, there was a lot of talk of like wine, and she was a gardener. So I do think these books have really good like spring summer vibes is what I'm trying to say. So I have no doubt that this will be really fun and charming in typical Tessa fashion, and I have a good feeling about this one. The next 2 books, even though I own them physically, yes, I will be listening to them on audio. I am so excited to start. I believe this is called the Thorn Chapel series. I don't know if it says it anywhere, but this is Lessons in Thorns by Sierra Simone. This is a 4-book series, I think. I think it's more than 3 books, but this is the first book in a Sierra Simone series that I haven't gotten to yet. I only have this first book in the series on audio. I don't know much about this except that it does have themes with like religion again. I think it has to do with like a Catholic school or something. I think this may also be another MMF series. I think there's multiple people. I genuinely don't know that much about it, but I do know it has darker themes in here as well. So check your triggers. I think there has to do with like religious trauma and maybe again some other dark stuff. I'm trying to read the back, but wow, look, okay, it says 12 years later, we're back. The heir, the dreamer, the priest, the genius, the socialite, the saint. That's exciting. That sounds like a lot of people. Maybe it's a series that follows a whole group of people and it follows a different, couple or coupling per book. I actually have no idea. I'm pretty excited to go into this. I'm pretty blind. But again, I just do know that there are darker topics in here, which is actually pretty typical for most Sierra Simone books. And, as Sierra is one of my favorite authors, I am just excited to dig into more of her backlist. And I know a couple people who have read this series and they really liked it. So I am very, very excited. And this is just the regular cover. and it's so sick. It's so sexy. I love this version of this book. This next book is also another first book in a series, but again, I don't think the series follows the same people. I think it's a different couple per book, but I'm excited because this is Help Me Remember by Corinne Michaels. This is a special edition that I have of it, by the way. I'm so sorry this isn't the standard edition. But number one, I love this edition. It's so pretty. Corinne is one of those authors who I'm really excited to finally get into her work. I've never read anything by her before, but she is a small town romance author. I've like talked to her before and she's so lovely and nice, and I just have a feeling that I'm gonna like her books. And again, I love, you know, checking out new small town romance authors. I feel like I'm doing a good job of working my way through the TBR of ones that I want to read from that I haven't gotten to yet, and Corinne is definitely the highest on that list. This book is actually a amnesia romance. I think the girl gets amnesia, her husband is missing or something, and then maybe she ends up in a relationship with the brother, but then maybe the missing husband comes back. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Something very, you know, dramatic, I'm sure. And then it's called Help Me Remember. So again, you get that amnesia element, which I think is going to be really fun. So that's all I can remember about this book. But I've heard that this book is very good from people who have read it. So I'm excited. I have the audiobook, and Jason Clark is on the audiobook for this one. So I'm even more excited to listen to it. Okay, so then we have my TBR list, and I have ebooks on top, audiobooks on the bottom. First up, this arc just hit my Kindle today, and I'm so excited. We have Primal by Jenica Snow. So this is a under 100-page monster novella. So the first book in the series is The Beast. Second is The Hunter. They're all complete standalones, but again, it's just her monster romance series, and each book is inspired by, like, you know, a fairy tale or something. Like, first book was Beauty and the Beast, second book was Red Riding Hood. This one is called Primal, and this one is one girl and a couple monsters, and they're bears. So this is inspired by Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is just gonna be very schminky, very spicy. I love a monster novella to be like a good palate cleanser, and especially because I read a lot of emotional books in April, I think this is going to be the palate cleanser that I need. Another arc that I have on my Kindle, I was kindly given the arc for Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow. This book is out in a couple days. It's literally out in early May, so I, you know, should read it as an arc, but will I? The new book in her new series, it's called Cherry Something. I always forget the name of the series. This is Single Dad, Nanny, Runaway Bride. I just know it's going to be spicy and fun, small town vibes. Melanie Harlow is one of my favorite authors, so I have no doubt that I'm going to love this. Again, hopefully a nice, easy, fun, spicy, you know, small town read. I'm very ready to get into this one. Kat Singleton also kindly gave me the arc for Our Story, which is her newest small town romance release. I believe this is the first book in a new series that she has coming out. I actually haven't read her first book. What is it called? Like White Ties or White Lies and Black Ties. I think that's what it's called. I haven't read that yet, but Kat has been a mutual of mine for a minute. She was like, Kelly, do you want this arc? I love small town romance, so of course I said yes. The cover is divine. It's absolutely gorgeous. This book is a best friend's brother, second chance romance, small town. There's angst, spice, a grumpy hero with a dirty mouth. That's right from the source, right from Kat's Instagram. So this sounds right up my alley. Again, always in the mood for a small town romance. Always. The last arc that I know I will be getting for a June release is Reckless by Elsie Silver. I'm hoping to get this as an audio arc. I'm on Elsie's arc team, so I'll get it as an audio or Kindle arc regardless. I'm super excited for this. Next book in her Chestnut Spring series. This one is Secret Baby. It follows Theo and Winter. I love when a baby is involved, and I love how Theo is more of a golden retriever. Winter is a little bit more on the reserved side. I really like that pairing. I liked Winter in Powerless, so I'm really excited to see, you know, her character in her own book. So this one I know will be a win every book in this series by Elsie has been a win. Then I actually have some books that I talked about in my Kindle TBR video. So look at me actually wanting to get to them in a timely manner. So these are books that I've talked about previously. I checked them out with KU, and I actually really want to get to them this month. So first up we have, what is it? Brutal Intentions by Lilith Vincent. This book is like under 300 pages, which is incredible. That's a really good selling point for me on a book because we all know I love shorter books. I'm gonna make this a 5-star prediction because this book is like stepfather. It's step something, I think. Very forbidden, age gap, mafia, I believe, and like again that taboo element where I think it's like a step sibling or like a guardian type figure, something like that. So that is again incredible. Incredible. I haven't read anything from Lilith Vincent yet, but I'm truly confident that I'm gonna like this book. I'm very, very ready for this. Then we have Saddle Up Cowboy by Sade Rena. This is just a spicy cowboy romance. If I had $1 for every TBR that I put this on and I never got to it, I would have a couple dollars in my hand. I'm so sorry to say. At this point, I basically average about 1 to 2 cowboy romances a month. So obviously we just have to keep that going. Reckless will also be a cowboy romance because Theo is a bull rider. So we're just gonna keep it going. I always love giving, you know, underrated, you know, cowboy romances a try. I just want to find underrated cowboy gems and give them to all of you guys. Another age gap romance that I am so excited for. Another, you know what, I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna give this a 5-star prediction also. We have Latte Darling by S.J. Tilly. I am so excited. Again, I know that this is just an age gap romance. Something to do with coffee. Same thing. In my KU video, I didn't know the plot of this book. And since then, I have not actually learned what this book is really about. But you know what? Age gap romance, small town, vibes. There's flannel on the cover. Someone works in a coffee shop, I believe, and you know what? That's all I need to know. All right, so those were all of the Kindle books that I have on my TBR, so now we can get to the audiobooks. I'm always more confident that I will get through my audiobook TBR than, you know, my Kindle reads, because sometimes I'm a slow Kindle reader, but I'm a fast audiobook listener. So, you know, balance. First up, a very high priority audiobook for me is Gothicana by Runix. This book actually sounds more my speed, and this is a student teacher, obviously gothic, dark, forbidden romance, and then I'm pretty sure there's an element in here where like maybe the main girl is a witch or something. I think it also has that element to it also. It's not just like a student-teacher relationship, and I think it's at like a school. I don't know, but all I know is I love dark, witchy, spicy romances, and if that's what this is, I'm going to be very, very pleased. Switching gears back to a more, you know, sweet romance, we have In a Jam by Kate Canterbury, and this audiobook also has Jason Clarke on the track, so I'm really excited for this. This is a small town romance. I know this is one of the situations where the main guy, I think it's the main guy, is a single dad, and the girl is back in the small town because she actually is like taking care of her family's tulip farm. And also, I believe this book is either Marriage of Convenience or Fake Dating. I can't remember which of the two, but either way, I'm excited because if you literally give me my 2 favorite tropes, single dad, Marriage of Convenience, Fake Dating, I am going to just eat it up. I'm gonna eat it up like the jam that it is. I love that the girl's family has a tulip farm because I have a tulip tattoo. That's what that is. Can you see? Back to dark romance. I am finally also ready to get into Amo Jones and her work. So I do have the audiobook for Sicko. This book sounds right up my alley. It's Motorcycle Club. It's taboo-ish because it's step siblings, and so basically I think the stepbrother, I shouldn't say like her brother. I think the stepbrother turns out to be part of a motorcycle club. That's all I got. That's all I can remember. I don't know if this is the first book in a series or if it's a standalone, but I definitely know that the tropes in it are, you know, step sibling, you know, motorcycle club, and obviously it's dark. I know, I'm just so good at remembering what books are about. I know. All right, so that was my May TBR. I may or may not have, you know, some other things planned for this month, some other things that I want to read soon for videos and things that I'm not going to tell you about right now. So I think May is going to be a really solid reading month. As always, all of my socials are linked down below. Follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, TikTok to really stay in the moment on what I'm reading. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe. It means so much to me, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!